ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनच्छलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्तांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंश कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो महा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रतिष्ठाय भूतले वेदांत स्वामी नाम सारस्वती गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष करोति वाचालं पंकं गिरिं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। हरि ओम। हरे कृष्ण। So thank you all for coming. We are on the eve of the most auspicious festival of Sri Radhashtami, celebrated tomorrow. Uh, so wishing you a wonderful celebrations for tomorrow. We typically observe fasting until noon. So if it is possible, please do so. So today I was planning to discuss a bit of the chapter as per our sequence, and also a bit on the glories of Srimati Radharani. So we will first spend some time discussing the 12th chapter of the 8th canto. We are actually at the concluding chapter of the saga of Samudra Manthan Leela. We have practically discussed the whole pastime, starting from how the Devatas, because of the offense of Indra, lost their opulence, being cursed by Durvasa, and subsequently how they approached Lord Vishnu with the aid of Lord Brahma, got the advice of Lord Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, churn the ocean of milk, and how there was this very wonderful attempt, a joint effort between the demons and the devotees, the devatas, to churn the ocean of milk, which eventually led to the emergence of Amrita, Soma, and how the Devatas across that whole process were repeatedly saved by the Supreme Lord. Lord Achita helped them throughout that pastime in many, many ways. Lord Shiva helped them by drinking the poison. And finally, after Dhanvantari had brought the pot of nectar, which was snatched from the hands of Dhanvantari by the demons, the Lord assumed the very, very beautiful, bewildering form of Mohini Murti to bewilder the demons and secure the nectar for the purpose of the. And then the Devatas get the nectar and the demons are upset. And the last two chapters were the discussion of another conflict between the Devatas and the demons post the Amrit consumption. And we were discussing last time how sometimes we think, oh, this is all. Now no more troubles in life. I have attained this. After this, everything will be wonderful. So lesson for us, even after the Devatas, after the whole episode under the direct guidance of Lord Hari, got the pot of nectar, still their problems didn't end. Why? Is it the problem with the Lord? No. The problem is with material nature. The problem is wherever there is a tendency to enjoy material nature independently, one's consciousness will always continue to be disturbed by the modes of nature. So this whole pastime wound up, the whole Leela. And the news of this very, very beautiful pastime of Mohini Murti's appearance, this news reached Lord Shiva. Now, for some reason, Lord Shiva wasn't there when this whole Mohini Murti pastime happened. Probably after he drank the poison, Parvati was already upset at the whole episode. And sometimes the husbands are very excited in their service to the Lord, but the wives are a bit concerned, even as devotees, that my husband doesn't stretch himself to the level that he affects his own health. And which is also right. Parvati wasn't too happy when Lord Shiva, of course, she knew his capacity, but she didn't want him to be affected by the poison. Excuse me. So it is said when the poison was going down the neck, she held the throat and arrested the poison within the throat so that it doesn't go down. So seems like towards the end of the pastime, Lord Shiva and Parvati had departed. Probably she must have told him, let us go home. Enough so far. It's not mentioned, I'm just commenting. But looks like Lord Shiva wasn't there when this pastime of Mohini Murti happened. And when the news came to Lord Shiva that the Supreme Lord captivated the hearts of the demons so that the demigods could get nectar, he was so excited. He said, wow, this was a very unique pastime. I have seen, there is no incarnation of the Lord that I have not seen. Now, this is a very interesting thing. In all appearances of the Lord, somehow Lord Shiva is there. Now, I'm not going to list all, but in Krishna's pastime, Lord Shiva is there. Lord Ramchandra's pastime, Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is just so in love with Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu and his various incarnations. Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. The Bhagavatam itself refers to Lord Shiva as the greatest devotee of Lord Hari. And what greater pleasure for a devotee to see than to see the Lord performing his pastimes. And all this while the Lord Shiva has seen Lord Vishnu in various incarnations. Human-like incarnations of animals, half man, half animal, quite a few combinations. This time when Lord Shiva heard, hey, beautiful lady's incarnation Lord Vishnu took. This is huh? his, his curiosity got the better of him. Then I must see. How come, the Lord did not give me prior intimation? I should have got the opportunity to see my Lord in the form of the most beautiful woman. So he told Parvati, Uma, this has happened. He said, wow, I am very desirous. I want to meet Lord Vishnu. I want to know about this form. I want to see this form. So Parvati also got very excited. Yes, generally I am known as the most beautiful lady in this world. Huh? How come this Mohini Murti is even more beautiful? Let us go and see. So Lord Shiva got on his bull, Parvati along with him. They started immediately proceeding to the place where Lord Hari, Lord Madhusudan was residing. Lord Shiva went with a huge procession. Lord Shiva's procession means procession of ghosts, bhutas and pishachas, and Lord Shiva is very kind. Lord Shiva is very, sometimes when we as preachers of Krishna consciousness, right, when we want to preach, everyone likes to preach to the elite class, the rich people, the sophisticated people. We want millionaires, we want doctors, we want educated people to come to our programs. Huh? Correct? Huh? I remember spiritual master was speaking to one teacher. He had done some mistake and there was some chastisement involved and he was defending himself. No, I want to preach to the elite. I want to. Why? There is a natural attraction and condition, so we want to associate and deal with those who are opulent, influential. Of course, there is a preaching related reason, but are we really always driven by that consideration is a question mark. I don't want to judge anyone, but that's a question mark. But generally, those who are really poor, considered worthless in society, drunkards, drug addicts, I'm talking about today's scenario, ex-convicts, those who are escaped from prison, all these kind of individuals, who is interested to preach? And cultivate, not just go and give, not just go for a prison class, have a comfortable environment, they are all sitting there, give class and then come out. I mean, that's also nice. I mean, I'm not criticizing that. What I'm trying to say is to really give such individuals your association and try to uplift them, cultivate them. Huh? Only Lord Shiva can do this kind of seva. Huh? And sometimes he's criticized, oh, associating with ghosts, That's why this whole problem between Shiva and Sati's marriage happened. Because Daksha was thinking, oh, this guy. Anyway, we'll not go into the details of that past. But Lord Shiva is so compassionate. Karuna avataram, Karpura Gauram Karuna avataram. Very, very compassionate. And especially in that form of Lord Shiva, he reaches out to those who are in the lowest of the low situations. Generally, Lord Vishnu is very difficult to approach for those who are in the lower modes. So Lord Shiva has to do that job of extending himself to these lower entities. So this was a very interesting procession. Just give me a minute, sorry. Apologies. So this was a very interesting procession where Lord Shiva, along with Parvati, were heading to see Lord Madhusudan. Finally, they reached the abode of Lord Vishnu, wherever he was staying. It's not very clear, it's not mentioned directly where they met him, but seems like this was some place, it's not in Vaikuntha, probably some other residence of Lord Ajita, who's the Manvantar avatar. Forgive me. Obviously, because Bhutas couldn't go to Vaikuntha. So Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi, when they saw Lord Shiva and Parvati as guests at their door, oh wow, they were so happy. These two couples often meet each other, and they both love each other like anything, and they both visit each other also regularly. Lord Shiva and Parvati love Lakshmi Narayan or Lakshmi and Vishnu Devi like anything, and likewise Lord Hari. And there are many episodes in the scriptures where they are known to visit each other in each other's homes. So this is affectionate dealings. Why I'm mentioning this is the nature of affectionate dealings, like the nectar of instruction says, right? Affectionate dealings between devotees. Of course, these two are lords, but it is this principle applies to everyone. Dadati pratigrinnati guhyam akhyati prachati unte bhojayate chaiva shadvidhi lakshana. To cook and to feed and to accept prasad, to reveal one's heart in confidence and to listen to the other person in confidence, to give gifts and accept gifts. So Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu was so happy. He received Lord Shiva with great happiness, with great respect. And after Lord Shiva and Uma Devi were seated very nicely and comfortably, and Lord Shiva, it is said, he performed puja of Lord Hari with great devotion. After that was done and they were all seated very nicely, very smilingly, Lord Shiva spoke, Mahadev. So what Lord Mahadev said, because Lord Vishnu asked, what a surprise visit. Just now only this pastime happened and we saw each other in the, when you were helping everybody by drinking the poison, and now you suddenly come here. What is the purpose of your visit? So Mahadev reveals to Lord Hari, smiling, he says, "Oh Deva Deva, I am Mahadev, but you are Deva Deva. You are the God of the gods. I am the great God, but you are the God of the gods." Sri Mahadeva Uvacha. What? Does it say Deva Deva? Very beautiful verse. Deva Deva Jagat Vyapin Jagat Isha Jaganmaya Sarvesham api bhavanam Tvam Atma Hetu Ishvara. Even before Lord Shiva can tell exactly what is his purpose, first he breaks out into beautiful prayers glorifying Lord Hari. And this is how devotees are expected to approach the Lord. We don't go to the Lord and just say, "Oh Lord, I have this work. So, come here, this is my list of things that you are supposed to take care of. So now, you read this list. Meanwhile, I'm going and having prasad and sitting and chit-chatting with my friends." And now, so the Lord is so wonderful. The Lord is so glorious that when a pure-hearted soul sees the Lord, either directly in his spiritual form or his Archa Vigraha, because his Archa Vigraha is not different. The devotee's heart, overflowing with devotion, naturally breaks out into singing glories of the Lord. So there are 7-8 shlokas where Lord Shiva is glorifying Lord Vishnu, explaining the position and glories of Lord Vishnu. So this is what Lord Shiva thinks of Lord Vishnu. Correct? This was a private meeting, right? He was not giving a Bhagavatam class. It's a private meeting in the home. Only these two couples were there. Of course, Vedavyasa, being Trikaladarshi, he could see this and note this down, because you may be wondering who was taking down all these notes. So great sages who are Trikaladarshi, these pastimes manifest in their heart and they are able to record. Very beautiful glorification. So if some people are struggling to understand the comparative nature between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, they can understand from Lord Shiva's own prayers what he thinks of Lord Vishnu. Very, very sweet prayer. They're very, very philosophically profound. From verse 4 onwards to verse, verse 13. Actually, verse 11. Verse 12 onwards, he makes his request. It's around 7 odd verses, 7, 8 verses. Very beautiful prayers. And I'm not going to, because we also want to discuss about Radhashtami a bit. I'm not going to go into the details of the prayers, but I'm going to summarize how Lord Shiva glorifies Lord Vishnu. So he very clearly in his prayers, Lord Shiva describes Lord Vishnu as you are the supreme. You are Deva Deva, you are the all pervading, you are the real master of the universe. You are the root cause of everything. You are both the material and the efficient cause. You are the super soul which is within everything and everything is sustaining because of your presence. You are the supreme controller of all controllers. So if this weren't true, Lord Shiva himself wouldn't be saying, obviously. You are so great, you are so pure that those who are pure devotees, those who are free from all material desires, the greatest of the saints, who want to be totally transcendental and attain the highest goal of life, they constantly engage in your pure devotional service. They always want to serve your lotus feet. Tavaiva charanam bhojam samupasate shreya kama. There are some who are preyas kama and there are some who are shreyas kama. Preyas means those who are interested in material welfare. Generally, those who are interested in material welfare, prayers, generally are attracted to Lord Shiva. Of course, they may be also worshipping Vishnu, Narayan, and other forms also. It's not that prayers kamas are not there in that category. But obviously, they will also, they don't attend pure devotional service. It takes them a long while to get purified. But generally, such people are attracted to Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. He quickly reciprocates with such individuals. That is his function. So he says, but those who are totally free from all material desires, those who really want to transcend this material, such people, they render service to your lotus feet, nirashishaha, visrijjo bhayataha, sangam munaya, such munaya, such great devotees. Tavaiva charanam bhojam shreyas kama nirashishaha, visrijjo bhayataha sangam munaya samupasate. Samupasate means they worship you in a perfectly complete way. So the Lord Shiva is saying, just like your devotees are fully pure and transcendental, you are also fully pure and transcendental. Actually, this whole cosmic manifestation is also nothing but you. Your existence is beyond the cosmic manifestation, but you are also manifested as this cosmic manifestation. Why? Because this cosmic manifestation is nothing but the manifestation of your energy. And ultimately, energy and energetic are not different. From the Lord's perspective, Prabhupada explains very nicely. And I'm going in brief. There's a very, very wonderful explanation across these verses. Please read that. from the perspective of the Supreme Lord himself, from the perspective of Lord Hari, Lord Vishnu, is there anything like material and spiritual? For us, from our perspective, we are trained to think like that in the initial stages because we have a strong enjoyment propensity. But for the Lord, is there something which is inside and outside? Is there something outside of Him? No. There's nothing outside of Him because there exists nothing but Him. It is Him and His energies. And His energies are not different from Him. That is why when the material world is manifested, the material energy is transformed to manifest this material world, that energy is also not different from the Lord. Is it different? No, it is not. It is His own manifestation. That's why sometimes the scriptures say, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything is the Lord. Doesn't mean that I, you, and everyone is God, but in the sense that there is nothing beyond the Lord. Krishna says this particular principle very beautifully in the Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada quotes it here also. That I am within this world and this whole world is within me. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chamai pashyati. To have perfect vision means to see I am within everything. So when we see this material world, we think, oh, this is separate from the Lord. No, but inside it, as Paramatma within each and every sub-atom, the Lord's presence is there. The Lord, even though this is His energy, the Lord is holding this. Actually, the energy is not different from the Lord. The one Supreme has become two, Purusha and Prakriti, for the purpose of manifestation, for the purpose of expansion of His joy, for the purpose of His Leela. But ultimately, it is the same truth. There is nothing beyond that one Supreme. Lord Shiva is glorifying Lord Vishnu. Yes, O Lord Vishnu, your spiritual form exists beyond this material nature. So some people may say, if the Lord is this material world, then how come the Lord is changing? The Lord is supposed to be transcendental and immutable, unchangeable, avyayishvaraha. Yes, because the changes are in energy and His energy is not different from Him. In that sense, the universe is a form of the Lord. But the Lord's spiritual form exists beyond. Matsthani sarvabhutani naham tesu avastitaha. I am situated within the world, but but I exist beyond the world. So this achintya bheda abheda tattva, which Lord Chaitanya and his followers preach, is very important because without understanding this, one gets into a mess of either saying there is no God, one extreme, no God, where? Or one says this universe is God, there is no God beyond this universe, which is half truth. The universe is the body of the Lord, but the Lord in His spiritual form exists beyond the universe. So one considers the half truth as truth, or one says, I am God, you are God, we all are God. And that's another extreme. No God, we are all God, this universe is God. These are all. Of course, no God is a totally dull position and an atheistic position. But that the universe is God and all are God is a partial, incomplete understanding, which when extrapolated can lead to a mess in one's spiritual life because of not having the proper conception. One must understand very clearly the conception of Purusha and Prakriti and the Achintya Bheda and Abheda, simultaneous oneness and difference between the Lord and His energies. Then only all of this will make sense. Otherwise, none of this will make sense. So that's why Prabhupada always says, we are part and parcel of the Lord. We are not outside the Lord. We are not just created by the Lord, we are His part. Because are we existing outside the Lord? What does outside mean? Is there something outside? There doesn't exist anything outside the Lord. What we call as Maya is nothing but forgetfulness of the Lord. There's nothing like outside. Matstani sarvabhutani naham teshu avasthita. So an intelligent person understands. That is why those who are spiritually advanced, and this is mentioned across the Gita, across the Bhagavatam very clearly, when they look even at this material nature, rather than seeing this material nature as a collection of objects of enjoyment, they see it as a beautiful manifestation of the Lord. They see Krishna everywhere. Huh? सर्वत्र देखी Ishta Deva Spurti. They are able to see the presence of their Ishta, of their dear Lord, each and everything. You see Krishna everywhere. What does it mean that they see Krishna everywhere? They can see everything in connection with Krishna. They see that what is there beyond Krishna. We are unable to have that vision. So when we see the material world, we see it as bhogya vastu. That's why we are continuously distracted from Krishna. But the same universe for the pure devotee is a continuous reminder of Krishna. They never forget Krishna because everything they see a beautiful flower. Oh, this is a spark of Krishna's beauty. They see the beautiful sun shining. This is the energy of the Lord which is coming through, the energy of the Brahman which is coming through the form of this effulgent sun. Let us meditate on that sun. Jimahi. So Lord Shiva is repeating this tattva. He is explaining. All these cause and effects and everything is happening within your energies, but you are not affected. And then he gives a wonderful example. He says, oh Lord, you are both the cause and effect, even though you appear to be two. Just like there is gold and there is golden ornaments. There is gold in the mine, and when the gold from the mine is extracted and made into ornaments, there are different ornaments. So we call something as a earring, we call something as a necklace, we call something as a ring, we call something as a bangle. But actually, what is it? It's all gold, right? It's all different names and forms given to the same substance. So in this way, from you only this energy is coming, this energy is taking different names and forms. It's all within you, it is part of you. There is only one Vastu. Ultimately, there is only one. There is nothing but you. Only because of ignorance, the Bhagavatam says, people concoct differences and dualities. That is why non-duality is also truth. But non-duality doesn't mean we are God. It means there is nothing beyond God. Everything is part and parcel of God. This is the correct understanding of Brahman, Lord Shiva says. And that is why to say that the world is false is incorrect. The world is not false. How can the world be false? The world is your energy. It is not different from you. The world is you, manifest in a particular form. You exist beyond the world. Prabhupada reminds the verse from the Ishopanishad. Om Purnam Adha Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Avashishyate. Even though this entire world comes from the Lord doesn't become reduced. It's not that some part of the Lord came out and went and the Lord is waiting when it will return to me, so I become complete. No. Purnam Adha Purnam Idam. So this understanding is also part of The understanding of the Achintya Bhedabhed, the Lord's original position still remains avyaya. Purnam eva avashishyate. The Lord never is reduced. So this is very difficult to understand from a material perspective. One has to accept this based on the statements of Shastra, of the spiritual unlimitedness of the Lord and His energies. And Lord Shiva says, this is not easy to understand. Great sages also are bewildered by your illusory energy. They cannot understand things exactly as they are. Aside from a few personalities like us, Lord Shiva is saying, very difficult. What to speak of lower, even great sages cannot understand. What to speak of ordinary humans and those who are in the lower modes of Rajogun, Tamagun? How will they know you? That's how to understand real transcendental subject matter and to understand the supreme truth as it is, one has to come to at least Sattva Guna to begin understanding and then eventually transcend to directly be in touch with transcendental truth. It cannot be understood otherwise. It cannot be understood even by material intelligence. You are present everywhere, my Lord. And there is nothing in this world that is not known to you. You are the source of this world, you are the beginning, you are its middle, you are its end. Comes from you, goes back to you, you are never reduced. Those who understand this transcendental position of yours become liberated, my Lord. Krishna says the same thing in the Bhagavad Gita, right? 4th chapter. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah taktva deham punarjanma neti mameti swarjana. Understands the divine nature of my spiritual form and the appearance of my spiritual form, not thinking it to be material. Ajopi san navyatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atma maya, taking shelter of my higher spiritual nature. So Lord Shiva glorifies like this. Please read these purports. They are very, they are full of jewels of the truths. When one understands these truths very clearly, one is not bewildered by impersonalistic Mayavadi knowledge. Mayavadis also use these terms, gold and ornaments and these kind of analogies, but their understanding is different from the way we understand. Only Achintya Bheda Veda Tattva gives such a beautiful understanding that both the personal aspect and the impersonal aspect of the Lord are very beautifully reconciled. Then Lord Shiva comes to the point after glorifying the Lord. Very happy. Glorifies. So after glorifying Lord Hari with these 7-8 verses, then he requests the Lord, "Oh my dear Lord, I have seen all your incarnations. Now you have performed this very, very wonderful Leela. I heard that you appeared in the form of a very beautiful young woman. I wish, oh my dear Lord, I wish to see that form of yours. My Lord, I and my wife have especially come all this long distance, desiring to see that form which your Lordship showed to these demons to captivate their hearts. So that the Devatas drink the Amrita. We are very, very eager to see that form." So when Lord Vishnu heard this request, earnest request, but Lord Shiva and Uma Devi both wanted to see. Lord Vishnu smiled, but he smiled with gravity, the Bhagavatam says. He gave a smile, but that smile had a gravity. He told Lord Shiva, yes, the demons had taken away the jug of nectar, and at that time I had assumed very beautiful form, a very beautiful woman, to help the devatas and to snatch the nectar away. So, O Mahadev, I will now show to you such a form which is very much appreciated by those who are lusty. Since you want to see that form, I shall reveal it to you. The Acharyas say that actually the form which Lord Shiva had, Lord Vishnu had showed to the demons is actually a form of beautiful woman of the nature of the illusory energy. Illusory energy can create lust in the hearts of conditioned souls. But Lord Shiva is not a conditioned soul. He is Ishvara Tattva. He is the Lord. He is the Lord of Maya. Even though he accepts the influence of the modes for the purpose of discharging his function as a Devata, as in charge, as a Guna avatar in charge of Tamoguna by his own sweet will, he is not affected by the modes in the way living entities are. He is the Lord of Maya. He is the husband of Mahamaya. So obviously Lord Vishnu knows Lord Shiva, if I show him that form, Lord Shiva is not going to be too excited. But Lord Shiva wants to see a form which creates an excitement like the demons got excited and bewildered. So if Lord Shiva wants similar effect, then I cannot use that form. I cannot use that form because that form will not produce that effect on Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva wants wants to experience that kind of a beauty which can create lusty desires. Then Lord Vishnu says, now I will show you that kind of a form so that you can get that kind of experience. I shall reveal it now here in your presence. So as soon as Lord Shiva says like that, Lord Vishnu says like that, immediately it is said Lord Vishnu disappeared. He's chatting with Lord Shiva and suddenly disappeared from the view. Because now the Lord is about to manifest himself in that Mohini form as desired by Lord Shiva to have darshan. So generally, and I want to stop here, I'm not going to go through the rest of the chapter. I wanted to stop at this point. So the actual manifestation of that form and what effect that form had on Lord Shiva and what was his reaction. We want to discuss that at length. So we'll discuss that in the next class. But I just want to mention some of the comments which the Acharyas say that generally people who are demoniac, when they see a very beautiful, attractive form of a woman, they become agitated. When Mohini Murti came, the demons were agitated by sex desire. The devatas were not disturbed. Because the devatas, being devotees, weren't easily agitated by the passionate nature which the demons partake, the Rajogun nature. So obviously, if the devatas were not agitated by seeing that form, then obviously Lord Shiva is not going to be agitated. So Prabhupada makes that comment that those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness or those who are in goodness, they are not generally bewildered by the external beauty of a woman. Actually, the Acharyas also say that Lord Vishnu actually asked Lord Shiva. It is not mentioned here very explicitly. Says he asked Lord Shiva, are you sure you want to see that form? Are you sure? Before he manifested, before he disappeared and he manifested, are you sure? Means warning sign, you asked for it, don't. You asked to show a form which will agitate lusty desires. Kaminam bahuvantavyam. I will reveal that form to you which you have asked for, which gives rise to lust. And such form is appreciated by lusty people. Sankalpa Prabhava Udayam. So Lord Vishnu also had to think twice, what form should I show? Then he warned Lord Shiva. Huh? Oh Lord Shiva, you are Madanari. Lord Shiva is also known as Madanari. Huh? You know that pastime of Madanari? We don't have much time, unfortunately. See, so much to discuss in the glories of the Lord. How it is so unfair. Madanari. Lord Shiva is not Madan. Once Madan, Kamadev, came to disturb Lord Shiva. And he was shooting arrows of lust into the heart of Lord Shiva. Cupid's arrows. And Lord Shiva is not affected by Cupid. How will he be affected by Cupid? He just opened his eyes, he got irritated. Who is this disturbing my meditation? He just burned Cupid to ashes. So that's a very beautiful pastime. So he's known as Madanari, the enemy of Kamadev. So he's the enemy of Kamadev. How come the form of a beautiful woman will attract Lord Shiva? But if you are so interested to see a form which will incite lust even within you, then I have to do something special. Lord Vishnu is thinking. The Acharya is mentioned like that. It's not a mention in the translation, but the Acharya's comment that Lord Vishnu was thinking. Then I have to do something special for it. Is your desires I must fulfill. You are my devotee. You are very dear to me. I have to fulfill. Actually, it is said the Lord has unlimited forms, but when the devotee desires to see the Lord in a particular form, the Lord manifests that kind of a form. The Lord has unlimited forms. Somebody wants to see the Lord as Ram, he will manifest in front of his devotee as Ram. As Krishna will manifest as Krishna, Varaha, Narsimha. Ramadi Murti Shukala Niyamena Tishtan Nanavatara Makarud Bhuvaneshu. Krishna Swayam Samavavat Paramapumani Govindamadi Purusham. So this devotee wants to see Mohini. Okay, I'll manage. But I have to have upgraded version of Mohini for you. Because you are Madanari. Otherwise, it will not produce the desired effect. So, you are the conqueror of lust. You are Mahayogi. I am Yogeshwar. You are Mahayogi. So, I have to use higher yoga energy. I cannot use the Maha Maya energy. I have to use the Yoga Maya energy and create a form which can incite lust even within you, that it will agitate your mind. And you ask for it. Don't blame me. So he didn't say that, but he gave that kind of a look. When somebody smiles and at the same time is grave, what does that mean? Cha. Now see the fun. Sure, you want this? That kind of a look. And Lord Shiva didn't mind it. Whatever will come, he was so keen to see that form. That he said yes. So we are going to stop here. With respect to this pastime, how the form of the Lord manifests and what effect it has. Very, very beautiful. Lot of beautiful lessons. So we have discussed roughly half the chapter. Only 16 verses we have discussed. So we will continue. So alas, we have only 10 minutes to discuss about tomorrow's topic. But nonetheless, Srila Prabhupada himself also on the occasions of Radhashtami was very, very guarded and careful. When he spoke about Srimati Radharani and her glories. Radharani is the most confidential subject matter. Radharani and the love of Srimati Radharani and Krishna is one of the most confidential subject matters. It is only for those who are purified of heart. Even on Radhashtami, if you listen to Srila Prabhupada's classes across so many years, Prabhupada would not go into any intimate leelas or pastimes between Radha and Krishna, but just more or less speak about Radharani's position as Krishna's Ladini Shakti. So we were discussing earlier how that one truth becomes two. The Chaitanya Charitamrita also says that one Lord has become two forms. The one Supreme has taken two bodies, Radha and Krishna. So the one, for the purpose of enjoying pleasure, expands into two, the enjoyer and the enjoyed. The enjoyed is the energy, and the enjoyer is the Lord, like a Purusha and a Prakriti. So the Swarupa Shakti of Bhagavan is Radharani. She is the original energy. So are the energy and energetic different? We just discussed a lot earlier about Lord Shiva's glorification. Of course, he glorified in the context of material energy, but the same principle applies, because what is the material energy? The material energy is nothing but a shadow of the spiritual energy, Chaya Shakti. So the same principle applies, which means Shakti Shaktiman Abheda. Ultimately, the Shakti and Shaktiman are not different. They become two. Why? Because they want to have fun. Alone is no fun. There is nothing beyond the Supreme. Just think about it like that. And this is a very important tattva to understand. Then one understands, sometimes people become, so confused. You can hear Leelas tomorrow from more qualified devotees. So I'm going to speak very basic. To understand tattva is very important. We hear pastimes, we take it cheaply because we are not able to understand what is the principle. What is this all about? So many people wonder, oh Lord, काहे को दुनिया बनाई? There was an old Hindi film song. दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई, काहे को दुनिया बनाई. Some of you who are around our generation would have heard. This song is not even from our generation. It is a couple of generations older. But basically, and there are many songs like this, where curious spiritualists are wondering, oh God, I don't know what came into your head that you made this whole world. So much mess, so much problem, this, that. What was the whole need to create all this? And Vedanta is very clear about the answer. What is the answer? Anandamayobhyasa. The Lord has everything that exists is for expanding the pleasure of the Lord. Because that one who is unlimitedly potent, supreme consciousness which is unlimitedly potent, Sat Chid Ananda, if he wants to enjoy, how can that one enjoy if there is nothing beyond the one? You understand? If there is only one with all potential, but there is nothing outside of him, because he is the supreme truth. How can there be anything outside of him? When he has to enjoy, what he has to do, when we have to enjoy, what we do, we start looking for a spouse or a girlfriend or a boyfriend. We have to look for something outside. There is nothing outside of the Lord, and the Lord is fully potent. Full potential is there. What does he do? He wants to enjoy. He expands himself into the enjoyer and the enjoyed. His potency. His potency manifests from himself to expand his joy. So is that potency different from him? Not really. But for Leela, for enjoyment, the one has become two. You understand? Very simple. And that from 2 became 4, became 8, became 16, became then, so many categories of energies and so many living entities to expand the joy. So and the Lord enjoys, his enjoyment is very elaborate. Just like in the material world, when we enjoy, the man first marries, then he wants to expand into two, and he has 2 children, 4 children, whatever, then he wants to expand into grandchildren, and Atha, Graha, Sutta, Apta, Vitta, to expand the enjoyment. Of course, it results in frustration and misery in the material world because we are not the Lord. But for the Lord, it's not like that because everything is part of Him. He can expand and he enjoys. So his Atma Shakti, his Swarupa Shakti is the most attractive manifestation of his full potency. Can you imagine? Actually, we cannot imagine, but you know, at least try to stretch as far as your imagination can. She is the full potential of the Lord in terms of his opulence, beauty. There is nothing more beautiful, powerful. But at the same time, that energy, because she is manifested from the Lord to increase the Lord's pleasure, the entire function and focus of that energy is to give pleasure to the Lord. Because the whole purpose of the one becoming two is to enjoy Leela. So this one, when it becomes two, that energy, Radharani, the whole purpose is to serve the Lord. Huh? That is why she is known as Radha. Why? Because there is no one who does better Aradhana of the Lord than Radha. The perfect Aradhana of the Lord, the perfect worship, the perfect service. Anaya Aradhitananam. The only one time when the Bhagavatam refers to Radharani, indirectly, Shukadev Goswami. He doesn't want to take the name Radha or he will go into Samadhi. Then 8 days will go and then flop show for Shukadev Goswami. Sorry, for Parikshit Maharaj. Because he had only 7 days. He refers indirectly to Radharani as the Gopi who was perfect in her Aradhana. There is no one who can serve Hari better. Why? Because she is the first energy, the first expansion of Lord Hari, manifested fully for his service. And that is why she is the reservoir of all good qualities. She is the reservoir of all beauty. How can she not be? Because she is the energetic expansion. She is the reservoir of all devotion. She is the mother of devotion. She is the giver of devotion. How can she not be? You understand? So this is one point to understand. Because we are short of time, there are so many things we can say. So for us as living entities who want to serve because we are also parts of the energy, no? In one sense, we are not Purusha Tattva. We try to be Purusha, that's why we get frustrated, but actually we are Shakti Tattva. Huh? There's the spiritual energy, there's the material energy, and there is the Tatastha energy. We are the Tatastha energy. Shivas. All energies are meant to serve the Lord. They are all expansions from Radharani, different categories of energy. So functionally, we are identical, which means we are meant to give pleasure to the Lord, to expand His joy. So where that right now, because of misidentification, we have twisted or contaminated our service desire into an exploitative enjoyment desire. But Radharani is the full manifestation of that service attitude. Huh? The Chaitanya Charitamrita says nobody knows better how to please Krishna. And she's the only one, the Chaitanya Charitamrita says, who can actually please Krishna. Because Krishna is so unlimited. Do you think I mean myself, any of us here, as infinite Simal Jivas, how much is our capacity to fully satisfy Krishna? Krishna is satisfied out of his own great nature. We do little bit, he's happy. Oh, acha, acha. Or Chandradas did some small effort. Okay, okay. You know, like a small boy, we become happy and he did something. Arey wow, bacha, good boy, good boy, good boy. You know? But it is not that that activity is actually satisfying. The Lord is being satisfied just accepting that little devotion. Who really can give pleasure to the Lord and the Lord senses? Who is capable? Only Radharani can give complete satisfaction. Only Radharani. And in her service, she is assisted by the gopis. And the gopis and Radharani are assisted by the manjaris. That's how this whole thing is expanded in the spiritual world. Ultimately, in Golok Vrindavan, everyone is assisting Radharani. She is the main servant. Because nobody can satisfy Krishna as much as Radharani. So for us, as sadhakas, when we look to Radharani, we pray to her. She's our mother. So we pray to the mother for two reasons. I'm just concluding, just give me 2 more minutes. There are many things we can pray to, but prominently two things. You are the abode of devotion. Bhakti is coming from you. You expanded from the Lord to serve the Lord. You are the abode of bhakti. You are the very definition of bhakti. Please give me one drop. Bhakti is the exclusive domain of Radharani. Nobody can enter Krishna's service without Radharani's blessings. Impossible. That's one thing. So for us tomorrow, if you want to beg for Bhakti Radharani, nobody is better than Radharani because she controls. Even Krishna doesn't directly control. Radharani controls Bhakti. Or in other words, Krishna in the form of Radharani control. Because there's nothing beyond Krishna, right? And then you say, Prabhu, how come Prabhu, Krishna cannot control? No. There's nothing beyond Krishna. Please understand. So Krishna in the form of Radharani as his energetic expansion, by Krishna's own desire, is the one who's the giver of devotion. Another very important reason why devotees want to approach Radharani is that one truth, when it becomes two, one has a Purusha bhav, one has a Stri bhav. One is Purush, the male form, the strict, the justice giver, the calculator. Oh, Gaurchandra Das, why is coming to me? So many anarthas here. Wait. Why you are coming? Wait. You still have so much to purify yourself. But Radharani is the motherly part of God. She is the compassionate aspect of the Lord. She'll say, oh Lord, oh Krishna, Sri Gaurchandra Das has come all the way up to here. I know he may have some faults, but how many people come all the way up to here? Please consider that. And you remember he gave that Bhagavatam class that day. Huh? Which class? Huh? That class that you remember he gave. Okay. That class not so good. No, it was so nice. Huh? Radharani will glorify the soul who's not even so qualified and present it to Krishna as if so special. And when Radharani recommends the Jiva to Krishna, because for Krishna he cannot say no to Radharani, she has that unique position to push the living entities close to Krishna much more than what they are qualified. Because Krishna will always look at how many marks you got in the exam, pass, fail. Radharani is the, for those who fail, their answer sheets go for re-examination where there are grace marks given. So you see, at least he mentioned this point here in this answer. Pass. Okay. Enter. Serve Krishna. So for us who are weak jivas, who have been struggling and remain as conditioned souls for so many lifetimes within this material world, Radharani is a great hope. The energetic is easily approached through by taking the shelter of the energy. The father is easily approached. When the father is angry with the child takes shelter of the mother. Prabhupada would often give that example. Take shelter, then the mother will cover so that the father doesn't just apply the justice principles, the compassion principle comes. So, especially for us who are in the path of Braj Bhakti, there is no other shelter than Srimati Radharani. And for us, in our parampara, we are all the more fortunate because that same one who had become two has again become one in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a slightly different way. That original one which became two, after recombining, they are not that same one, the original one. They are the one in the mood of the two. You understand? Because it is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. It's a different tattva. It's the same Lord enjoying in different ways. Like what I said, ultimately what all existence is about, it is the leela of it is the play. It is the one enjoying himself. And in his own enjoyment, he expands himself. Eko ham bhahusyam. I was one, the Lord says in the scripture. I decided to become many. No fun becoming one. I became many. I became two first, then I expanded into so many energies, then I expanded into Vibhinnamsha Jivas, and I'm expanding my Leela unlimited. So the perfection of life for all of us is to find our rightful place within that play of the Lord by taking shelter of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet and serving her under the shelter of her assistants and the assistants of her assistants. Somehow we enter into that Leela where Krishna is satisfied perfectly by Radharani. And we are somehow assisting in some small way in that seva. We go and pluck one flower, give it to a manjari. The manjari will make a garland, give it to Lalita Sakhi. The Lalita Sakhi will take that garland, analyze, maybe adjust it a bit, give it to Radharani. Then Radharani gives it to Krishna. Krishna is so happy to receive that garland from. So all our services add up and go to. So that is the perfection of our life. So tomorrow is that Radhashtami. So it's a wonderful occasion to pray to Mother Hara. Mother Hara. Hare Krishna. So we call out to Hare. So we always call out to the energy before we call out to the energetic. Sita Ram, Lakshmi Narayan, Radhe Shyam. Always energy first. Because when we take the name of the energy, the energetic's attention we attract. So anyway, so many wonderful truths are there. Unfortunately, we don't have time more to discuss, but I'm sure tomorrow many erudite speakers will be speaking so many wonderful things about Radharani's pastime. She appeared in the wonderful Raval Dham to Vrishabhanu and Kirtida. She manifested as a beautiful golden colored child who appeared on a lotus in the lake next to the house of Vrishabhanu and Kirtida. So that's a very, very beautiful pastime. There's a beautiful, simple, small temple there in Raval to commemorate that place. So let us pray. To Srimati Radharani Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripri. May Radharani bless all of us with our devotion. May she give us pure devotional service. May she give us entrance into Krishna's Leela. May she help us become qualified, even though we have so many shortcomings. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Thank you very much. Thank you for tolerating. Any questions, any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I just want to make one comment. Okay, as far as Radharani is concerned, he takes the expansion from the left side of Krishna, whereas Balaram takes from the right side. Am I right, Prabhu?
What do you mean from the right side meaning?
That means, as far as you were told earlier that Krishna is originally one, in order to become Radharani, he'll become two. So the expansion of Krishna to become Radharani, I mean, as far as I know, I heard in the class, it is on the, I mean, the expansion takes placed from
Left
the
side and right
like
side.
that side.
So, yeah, so what actually that means, Prabhu, I mean, in very simple words, one is an energetic expansion, that is Radharani, energetic expansion, and the other are expansions of Krishna as the enjoyer. Because others are forms of God, they will have the respective energetic expansions. Correct? When he expands as Balram, his energetic expansion is Revati. When he expands as Ram, Sita is his energetic expansion. With Narayan, Lakshmi is the energetic expansion. So the Lord expands in two ways, right and left. So right are all Ishvara Tattva and left are all Shakti Tattva. The point is, even the Ishvara Tattvas who manifest from the Lord, even though they have Ishvara Bhav, even though they have Purusha Bhav, they are not Shakti, they are Purush. But internally within them, because they are expanding from Krishna and ultimately meant for Krishna's pleasure, they also have a service attitude towards Krishna. That's why even Balram has a service attitude. That's why the Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Ekale Ishvara Krishna Ara Sakala Bhritya. Other than Krishna, everyone else is servant. Even the God expansions, even those who are God, they are servant gods. So yeah, in one sense, right, left, I will see it in that way. Because the energy stands on the left. So same way when you see Ram, Lakshman, Sita. Lakshman is this side, Sita is on the left. The energy is on the left. So maybe in that sense you could understand it. But I'm trying to give that contextual understanding of what right and left means. So generally, traditionally in Vedic understanding, left means he who stands on the left is one's inferior. Inferior in the sense dependent. So the Lakshmi, the energetic expansion stands on the left. Usually in a husband-wife pair, the way they are supposed to stand is Vamangi. Vama means left. The wife stands to the left of the husband. Okay. Does that answer your question, bro? I mean, there may be more things, but this is what I
Yes,
can
yes,
make out.
yes, yes, Prabhu. I just wanted to clarify that point. And can I just make another comment?
Yeah,
Quick,
yeah, please,
quick,
please.
Prabhu, like what worship or what Radha Krishna is supposed to be the what ultimate and all these things. So as what other castes, I mean, if we kind of find that, what is that Shiva of Radha and Krishna is kind of extremely high, and then there are a lot of intimate pastimes which 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 we won't be able to appreciate and understand all those things.
Hmm.
So in that case, can we kind of take a stand that I don't even want to know about all these intimate pastime because I won't be able to appreciate, and then I'm not in the position one. And instead of that, if we think that it is better at my level, I just worship as what Lord Chaitanya and what is it, Nityananda, which I feel. I mean, at my level, instead of going to Radha and Krishna, because I won't be able to kind of understand many of the pastimes. And then, is it is it okay if we kind of take that kind of under understanding, Prabhu? Thank you, Prabhu.
So like what is done in the Bhagavatam itself, right? Intimate pastimes are actually only for liberated souls. We should understand the tattva. We should know that Radha and Krishna have intimate pastimes. We should also intellectually understand these pastimes are transcendental. But because we are not transcendental, if we discuss intimate pastimes, rather than invoking devotion in our hearts, it will invoke lust, and then we'll commit offense. So we need to know the tattva, and to the point that we know that this is our goal. So our goal should be clear. So it's not that we don't have to know anything. We don't have to discuss. We can know that Radha and Krishna danced in the Ras Leela. Up to that point, we know is okay. But in the middle of the night, Radha and Krishna disappeared into the bushes, and what they were doing in the bushes, we don't need to discuss. We are not there yet to discuss. The Manjaris will be there to assist them in their intimate pastimes, which are purely transcendental. There is no lust because it is that one who has become two for the purpose of. There is no two there. Actually, there is that one who is uh, performing a divine play. So, we who are conditioned souls, we will agitate our mind and we will be disturbed. So, those kind of subject matters, there are other pastimes between the gopis and Krishna which we can hear. Prabhupada has explained in the Krishna book so many beautiful pastimes. So it's not that there is nothing for us to discuss about Radha and Krishna. There are so many pastimes for us to discuss between Radha and Krishna, but not the intimate ones. So that's for our own protection. When we will become qualified, then we will be able to understand, appreciate, and relish these pastimes without getting disturbed. That's why some books and scriptures, uh, including songs like uh, what is that? Beautiful prayers. That songs, the names are missing my mind. The ones which are sung to Lord Jagannath every night. What are those prayers?
Gopi Geet, Prabhu.
Yeah, no, not just the Gopi Geet. Gopi Geet, yes, also. But Gopi Geet is not going into intimate pastimes. Gopi Geet is an expression of the heart of the Lord. Gita Govinda, sorry. The Geet Govinda by so
Jayadev.
uh,
Jayadev.
Jayadev Goswami. Thank you, Madhuri. Sorry, somehow the name is from my Jayadev Goswami's Geet Govinda is one of the literatures which uh, describes very intimate pastimes. Do you know one thing? I'll just mention. I'll conclude with that. If some of you want to drop off, please. I mean, I don't want to hold you back. But do you know the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan? We have very, very few books which are written by them. They wrote hundreds of books on many, because they were seeing Radha Krishna's pastimes from this, because they are Manjaris. They are actually assisting in Radha Krishna's pastime in the spiritual world. They know the most intimate of intimate pastimes. They had written down so many things. There were books and books and books and books, library of books that the Goswamis wrote. Many of these Goswamis wrote. But at one particular point, they all got together and discussed that we wrote all this to relish it amongst ourselves, but who in Kali Yuga is going to be qualified to read and understand this? Nobody is going to be qualified. So, you know what they did just to prevent misunderstanding of these pastimes? They agreed together and gave samadhi to all these books and put them under the ground and sealed and buried them in samadhi for all time to come. There's a Pushpa Samadhi in Vrindavan. Because they realized nobody can understand it. It's so high subject matter. Huh? That's why for us, Prabhupada would say, even though we worship Radha Krishna on the altar, actually we are worshipping Lakshmi Narayan, because the method of worshipping Radha and Krishna is not the Archana Marg, it is a Rag Marg. It is of pure love. But that's not our platform. We are still in sadhana bhakti, and especially Vaidhi bhakti within sadhana bhakti, not even Raganuga within sadhana bhakti. So we have to go from Vaidhi to Raganuga sadhana, then from Raganuga sadhana to Ragatmika platform. So we have a long journey. So eventually, and that is what Lord Chaitanya does. Lord Chaitanya's special position is simply by chanting the holy names and taking shelter of Lord Chaitanya. One day one will suddenly find oneself in the groves of Vrindavan. Arey, how did I come here? Who made me qualified? What did I do? Huh? That is the magic that Lord Chaitanya. Because Lord Chaitanya knows, I mean, Krishna knows, it's so hard to get into my Leela. What to speak of Kali Yuga Jivas? However, they will become qualified to get into my Leela. So the Lord devises means, comes in a particular form, gives a very simple sadhana, gives a particular method. Those who take shelter of it and take shelter of Him, magically they will find themselves in Braj. That's how the Acharyas explain. So that is our hope. So our hope is Lord Chaitanya, because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in the mood of Radharani, who wants to give that love for Krishna to everyone, even though they are not willing to pay the price. So just willing to accept the only price, that prem which is so difficult to get, is distributed to anyone who's simply willing to accept it. Patra, apatra na dekhi. Without seeing who's qualified, who's not qualified. Can you imagine? That's why this is a once in a kalpa opportunity. 10,000 years, once in a kalpa. So the point is, let's not miss it. It doesn't get simpler than this. If you are thinking this is already too difficult, it, if you want that, it doesn't get simpler than this. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, did I comment or answer the
Yes, bro.
question?
I mean, as you said, we got a very, very long way to go.
Yes, I have no doubts in my mind that through the normal process, I do not see any hope for any foreseeable number of lifetimes to come to that level. For me, I'm saying. Maybe you all may be very qualified. Kali conditioning is terrible. And the kind of purity that is needed to enter into these pastimes is mind-boggling. So no need to be hero. We don't need to be great heroes. We just need to be humble servants. Honest, sincere, humble servants. That's why Lord Chaitanya gave a very simple formula. And I try to remind myself again and again. Chant the holy name. Don't offend others. And serve the devotees. Just Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's entire mission is these. Name Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, and Jiv Daya. So Vaishnav Seva has two aspects. One is not criticize, and second is practically serve them. At least don't criticize, Baba. At least. Cannot serve, at least don't criticize. Don't judge. It is like this. Sarva Lakshmi is like this. Sridhar Prabhu is like this. Indhu Rekha Mataji is like this. Why she's not doing like this? Actually, the very interesting thing is we don't even know who's who. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, so many great souls come, take bodies who are Kali Yuga bodies, and it may externally seem to have many faults. But the Jiva who's inside that body may be a very highly evolved Jiva. But he may still display conditioning because that body is a Kali Yuga body of a particular quality. It's very difficult to understand. What is the quality of a Jiva? It's not easy. That's why to identify a Vaishnava can also be very difficult. Because sometimes great souls take appearance also in certain bodies for certain specific purposes. So it's very difficult. So that's the simple way for us. Name Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, Jiv Daya. Jiv Daya means this process, whatever we have learned, just share with according to your capacity. You don't have to necessarily give big classes. Whatever way. Yara dekha tara kaho Krishna Upadesh. Bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, karo Krishna Shiksha. Whatever way. Even if you don't directly preach, assist the mission where the preaching is happening. That is also preaching. Even if you are an office clerk in a mission of preaching Krishna consciousness, you never gave one class, you're still a preacher because you are in the setup of preaching. Right? So that is our pathway to Braj. And if we hold on to that path, everything else will become automatically manifested and clarified, and everything else will be given in due course. But if we compromise these three, then very difficult to enter Braj. Very difficult for Lord Shiva, very difficult for Ananta Shesha, very difficult even for Lakshmi Devi. She's also still standing outside. If Lakshmi Devi can't get in, do we think we are qualified to get in to Braj? Okay. So Shrimati Radharani ki, Jai Shri Radhashtami Mahotsava ki. Thank you very much. So we'll continue discussion of the Mohini Murti's encounter with Lord Shiva in our next class. So have a blessed Radhashtami, fasting until noon tomorrow. And there'll be Ekadashi. This is Ashtami, so there'll be Ekadashi after 3 days. So midweek will be Ekadashi again. So please, I'll again send a notification a day or two in advance. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Samaveta.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Thank
Prabhu.
you,
Krishna
Thank
Prabhuji,
Shrimati
Pranam.
Indulekha Mataji. Dandavad. Yes. Virendra Ram Prabhu, welcome. Congratulations to you. Virendra Ram Prabhu just received shelter at the lotus feet of his spiritual master. Welcome, Prabhu. Amit, Priya Mataji,
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Sundari
Krishna.
Mataji, Sridhar Prabhu, Snehaji, Archana Mataji, Sridevi Mataji, Sudhir Sundar Prabhu and family.